Thank you for joining the Lady Charmaine live show. And right now we got Lady Charmaine and girlfriends. And in the studio, I got my girl Tasha Robinson and also Latroya Brown. Thank you so much for joining me on the show today, ladies. Hey. Well, today we got some good, juicy, hot topics today because one of the topics I came up with is now, okay, so if you want to chime in on the conversation, make sure you call us at 916-921-5333. So we're about to kick it off with this question. Okay, ladies, if you found out your best friend's partner or spouse was cheating on them, would you tell them? Why or why not?
My God. Me personally, because I have experienced this particular issue before, I would have to say I will not.
Why?
Because the reason why I wouldn't is because see, they may get it right. Mm-hmm. They may talk it out, mm-hmm. Kiss and make up. But you as the individual that's delivering the mail mm-hmm. to either party mm-hmm. may start looking at you sideways now.
You get caught in the crossfire.
And you are the one that's in the middle between a husband and a wife. So like I said, me personally, I probably will not because it has happened to me before. And then maybe if I wasn't so close to the situation and my emotions would not have, being so mm-hmm.
In
tune with one of the individuals, then it probably could have went another way. But because it did not, I think it was a crossfire type of thing, and it brought some conflict.
Now, what if it's boyfriend and girlfriend? What if they're not married? Engaged.
It's still, it's still a... If they're engaged and something else happened, then the other party probably already know. If they are engaged and someone was, caught cheating, or somebody has been cheated, or
you wouldn't be like, girl, hold on, let me tell you, I got something to tell you before you make that decision. And if you still want to make the decision, but let me give you the information.
They probably, I would say, they would probably have already known that.
You think so?
That.
Sherry, what about you? Okay, look, give me your opinion.
I would have to pray about it, to be honest, because it depends.
Yeah.
It has so many factors. Mm-hmm. It depends on how close you are to that person. It depends on you have to think about the after effect, because this could potentially end that friendship.
Right.
And
absolutely.
So if you can live with yourself without that person, knowing that you're making the best decision that you should make in your consciousness, then cool. You know what I mean? If you can live with telling them, and then what they do with that information after that, so be it, but you feel like you did what was right, then cool. I've never been in that situation, so I have no idea what I would do. I honestly would pray about it and be like, all right, Lord, I don't know. Should I
now what if the Lord
or...
tell you to tell him?
Then I have to be obedient and let him know.
But
girl,
like
I seen Johnny last week.
But like she said, the praying piece,
mm-hmm.
Not to be so spiritual, but that is the honest to God truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, mine was more so of the emotional piece, and I acted out of emotion. But if I would have stopped, paused, and waited for a minute, even though I did wait for 2 days,
mm-hmm.
but maybe I could have got a little bit, it's not a maybe, I would have gotten better clarity than providing.
Now, did you act out of emotion because that person is your friend and you love them and you wanted to make sure that they knew what was going on? That brother is cheating on her and she needs to know.
Absolutely. 200%.
Right now.
That was the honest to God truth. Yeah.
And another thing that I thought about, you guys, is sometimes we as women can be emotional.
Mm-hmm.
So
anyway,
it would be horrible to assume something and tell and it really not be anything. You know what I mean? So you would really have to know that that was something that was going on, So it's just so iffy. It's so tricky. It would have to be facts. No, I literally saw this happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus hearsay, or even if you see him out with somebody, you never know if it's an aunt or a cousin. You just don't know, and
right.
But what if you do know? You kissing cousins. You ain't not gonna see no kissing cousins. No kissing
if
aunties,
you do know, then that's different.
Kissing siblings. Well, some people might, but But so if you know that, if you want to chime in on the conversation, give us a call at 916-921-5333. Tasha, I got a question for you. Since you are married, what was the biggest eye opener for you after marriage?
Effective communication between me and my husband. being able to communicate and to express how I feel, what my needs were. That was like the scariest thing to me ever. And it did cause some conflict, because in that first year I was like, what the crap did I do?
Did we all do that?
Why am I married again? But effective communication is very, very, very important. It's very vital to any relationship, is being able to communicate effectively, and not all that passive aggressiveness stuff, you know, being able to talk and as being a woman, express what our needs are. Being able to say, hey, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I need, this is what I want. So I would have to say being able to communicate effectively.
I think that's why it's so important too, to know who you are. I mean, you grow and evolve when you're in a relationship, and even marriage. I've been married before, so even in marriage. But I think if you don't know who you are as a woman, then your expectation of how somebody should treat you varies. What I've experienced in the past is assuming that I wanted something to be a certain way, and then when it didn't react the way I thought it would react, or you know, if it didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen, it's like, wait a minute, do this. I'm like, no, actually I don't want you to do that. Treat me like this. Well, actually no, because I just was still trying to figure out who I was.
Right.
It's so important to know, you know, the stuff that's really, really important to you, the values, the morals, all that stuff, and just even like the basic stuff. It's important to, like you said, be able to communicate effectively and say, you know, this is my love language. This is how I receive love. You may not receive love the way I receive love.
And speaking on a love language, if any couple have not read the 5 languages of love, it is so amazing. So amazing, and it's able to tell you and your partner what your love language is. Love that book.
Well, you know, because for me, a lot of people, when you get into marriage, we're going to talk about this when we come back after the break too, because a lot of times when you get into marriage, you mimic kind of like what you see from your parents.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you know, if you had a mama that was a yeller, and then when you get married, because if that was the communication that you grew up around, and then you get married, and in order for somebody to hear you, you got to yell and go up a couple of octaves in order for them to hear you. A lot of times that can definitely be an issue. So we're going to be talking about all that coming back on the Lady Charmaine live show. If you want to chime in, call 916-921-5333. We'll be back with these ladies as Lady Charmaine and Girlfriends on 97.5 KDEE.
You're listening to Sacramento's First Lady, Lady Charmaine on 97.5 KDEE.
You know what? Coming up on the show, we're going to be talking about some more hot topics. But right now, we're talking about, would you tell your friend if you caught her man cheating? Would you tell her? And okay, so Tasha said no, she wouldn't do it anymore. She said she did, but she wouldn't do it anymore. Latroya said she wouldn't do it. But some ladies online, we are streaming online at Charmaine Bassett. So if you want to check us out live in the studio, just go to Facebook to Charmaine Bassett and you can check us out. And also you can chime in right there too. So I'll be reading off what you have to say. So Stacy out of Richmond, she said yes, she'll tell her friend. Also, Charmaine said that she would also tell as well. Would you tell? Would you put your friendship on the line? Are you willing to do something like that? Do you love her more than her relationship? And this is the next question, ladies. Tasha, so this is my question for you. So say, for instance, you told your friend, okay, she ended up staying with him. Okay. And if you seen him doing it again, would you tell her? This time you'll just keep your mouth shut?
Same couple?
Same couple. But him with a different girl.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, okay, she paused for the call, straight up.
Nope.
Okay, so my question for you is, what if she found out that you knew that he was cheating on her?
Then I will give her my explanation and where I'm coming from the previous. So hopefully she would understand my position on what that looks like. I would probably talk to him.
Oh, you would? You sit him down and talk to him?
I would probably talk to him and to, you know, this is not cool. That's my girl. Do you think? It kind of give that, you know, that way type of thing. If you don't, I will. So the ball will still yet be in his court now.
Okay. So, ladies, I definitely have another question for you. Okay, because all of us been in relationships, right? What is the one thing that you wish the men understood about women? I know we got about 5 things, but what is that 1 or 2 things that you really wish that they really understood about us?
Goodness.
I would have to say, not so much as our emotions, but understand sometimes our perspective on where we're coming from different things. Because, he's the man, yes, I'm the woman, but just kind of understand my stance on why I feel. You don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree, but just kind of understand where I'm coming from on whatever, the situation is. And not always kind of shoot it down like, oh, well, you don't know really what you're talking about because it's kind of this way or no way at all. Just kind of a little bit more understanding. I would have to say a little bit more understanding in that.
What about you, Troya?
I think I would have to say communication. A lot of times, sorry y'all, but a lot of times they listen so that they can respond, but they're not really listening to understand what you're saying. So it's like you're not trying to have an argument. You're really just trying to explain your point of view instead of you explaining and him explaining it. Sometimes you can agree to disagree on some things.
Absolutely.
Certain things you can really work out if you listen to one another, but I feel like a lot of times people don't communicate effectively because they just listen so that they can have a comeback. Not that I'm experiencing that right now. Not that I'm
I'm just
somebody
saying.
listening?
I have experienced that in the past, and usually sometimes it was me, but for the most part, I think men have a hard time with just listening to women.
It's so funny because when we come back from the break, there is something I really think that's really interesting for me, because we're going to be talking about what are some of the signs in a relationship to let a man know that that woman is ready to leave the relationship, that your relationship with her is over. Okay, so right now I'm going to let Johnny Taylor do the talking while we go to break. So men, we're going to let you know what are some of the signs when your relationship is over on 97.5 KDEE.